Linus Tech Tips coverage of CES 2014 is brought to you by NCIX.com, your source for great technology, selection, and service, along with Corsair Memory and Western Digital. Welcome to the EVGA suite, where they've got, of course, some graphics cards, but also some not graphics cards. So we're going to start with the Torx mouse. It's available in a couple of different configurations. I'm holding the carbon fiber one, which has carbon fiber on the side, versus there's a regular, more like a plastic one. It's got the usual gaming grade features, so you've got RGB lighting that you can customize using their software. It's got, side buttons on either side, so it's got an ambidextrous design. It uses an 8200 DPI sensor, but there's some other cool stuff as well. The top has a removable plate. There's no confirmation one way or the other. It looks like at launch it won't be swappable for something else for a custom look, but what it does give us access to is the weight system underneath, so you can add and remove weights at will. Not as common of a feature, but something we've seen before is, adjustability. So you can use a screw at the back, and you can actually adjust the back of the mouse or the butt of it up a little bit higher or a little bit lower, depending on what is most comfortable for you. There are, of course, slippy pads on the bottom, covering almost the entire bottom of the surface, and the mouse overall is, I'd say, about an average weight. So once you added some weight to it, you could make it quite hefty if that's what you preferred. Next up, we've got, of course, there's the GTX 780 Ti classified back there, but no. The one we're going to be focused on here is the GTX 780 Ti classified Kingpin edition. So instead of a 12-phase power design, this one has a 14-phase power design in addition to its otherwise amazing sexiness. It has 3 BIOSes, which are accessible using a BIOS switch on the top of the board. It also has 2 8-pin and 1 6-pin power connector. Now, to be clear, guys, this card is not like a lot of products you see where it's like, okay, yeah, it's got like 2 8-pin CPU connectors on a motherboard, but like realistically, you could never run that kind of power through the socket. This is actually designed for hardcore liquid nitrogen overclocking. Quite frankly, if you're just a regular user, you aren't going to benefit from it other than the extreme bragging rights that come along with owning a product like this. It does support their EVBot their EVBot dongle, so you can make adjustments to the settings of the card on the fly, even when it is powered on. And up at the top, you've got comprehensive voltage checkpoints that can be used to monitor voltage using a multimeter if you don't necessarily trust software, or if you want something that you can monitor even when you don't have your software fired up. It uses a dual fan design, and yes, that clear shroud is the final design, so the Kingpin edition will have a very different look than the normal 780 Ti classified, and personally, I am waiting for someone to figure out a way to get some crazy custom LED lighting going on this very unusual looking ACX cooler from EVGA. It's got the usual output, so dual DVI, HDMI, and DisplayPort, and of course, it is a non-standard length, non-standard height, non-standard card in every possible way, designed to squeeze the last bit of possible performance out of the GTX 780 Ti GPU. Now, speaking of squeezing the last bit of possible performance, NVIDIA Greenlight has limited in many ways what board partners can do in terms of allowing their customers to overclock the cards balls to the walls. And EVGA hasn't quite figured out what they're going to do yet, but they will find a way somehow to make this card unfettered, so you're not going to be limited by those pesky power limits and things that just cause the card to shut down in the middle of everything. So I'm excited to see where they're going with this. And now we're here with the Hadron Hydro. Now, we actually did a review of the Hadron Air not that long ago, and what we liked about it was extremely compact. It has a 500-watt power supply. It is capable of holding a GTX 780, 780 Ti, or GTX Titan in it, and it is a micro ATX case that actually, once you build in it, doesn't have bad cable management. You got to be a little bit careful. You got to kind of tuck things away, but when you're working with extremely small enclosures that can house extremely powerful hardware, that's just kind of something you have to deal with. Now, the Hydro adds a little bit of extra height, but it is otherwise basically the same case. That extra height is being put to very good use, and instead of 2 120mm fans in the top, we're getting 2 fans and a 240mm radiator. Now, you can put your own water cooling stuff in, but EVGA also has an option for you to buy their water kit for somewhere in the sort of $170 to $200 range. I'm not sure if it's 100% finalized yet, but that kit is actually fairly reasonably priced. It comes with a CPU block, one I've never seen before, but I mean, even the worst CPU block these days is probably only going to be 5-6 degrees better or worse than, you know, the best one. So it comes with a CPU block, it comes with a pump and reservoir, it comes with a radiator, it comes with tubing and fittings, including these special fittings at the back that are hard fittings, just for a better aesthetic as well as less risk of damage or catching them on something. And finally, it comes with enough extra tubing and fittings for you to plumb in your own graphics card after the fact using whatever water cooling solution you want for that. Guys, don't miss any of our CES 2014 coverage. Thank you very much for checking out this video from EVGA's suite. Remember, our sponsors here at the show are ncix.com, your source for great technology, selection, and service, and of course, Corsair Memory and Western Digital. Without those guys, we wouldn't have been able to be here, so thanks a lot.